My Stream Deck has disconnected from my OBS again. So I can't switch scenes again. This is so annoying. I just fixed these yesterday. But it's fine. Hello, Peony and Sari and Ghost, hello, and Jackson, Kier, and Lurk, and Mal, and Jax, and Mal, and Kier, and Peony, and Buttspot, my beloved. Hello, how are we doing? Why are my scenes broken? Why is my Stream Deck broken? It keeps disconnecting. Like, why is it doing this? I haven't had this issue since like a while. But it's just like I feel like I have to like uninstall and reinstall the stupid thing every time. Type like us peasants. Well, it's more like I have to switch scenes by hand, which normally I have OBS like slightly behind other things, but anyway, hello. I forgot to actually make the overlay last night because I may have gotten off stream and then tried to eat something that was burnt and then cried. So it was a mostly happy cry. It was just the food kind of tipped me over. Hey, you ate bird food too? I'm so sorry. Hi, Kippy. I love you. I hope you're doing well. But hello. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for being here. Hi, Sophie. I love you. I hope you're doing well. There was a lot of love happening last night, and I don't know how to accept that. So I may have cried, but it's fine. I don't know why my like Stream Deck is disconnected again. Now I have to like every time I have to clear my throat, I have to actually like mute in the audio mixer. My gosh. I could just press the button on my microphone, but it makes a loud noise when I touch my microphone, so I don't. Sir, yes, Mal, what's up? But yeah, I like, we were supposed to have like these little calzones for dinner last night, and then they were going to take like an hour to cook. Your third emote got approved. Let's go. Let me see. Oh my god, that's so good. Incredible. Beautiful. And now you have all three. Let's fucking go. Hug, sad, and rage. The three emotions that we all experience. But I hope everybody is doing well today. I tried to keep my cat in my room last night because she's been peeing on other things that are not the litter box, but which meant that she woke me up a couple of times because she was annoyed about being stuck in my room, but it's fine. I'm just a little bit sleepy today. It's fine. The worms want Overwatch so bad. I hate moving so much. I am so sorry here. However, if you get the moving and stuff done, then you can like play Overwatch in your new room and like have everything behind you. She is an old lady. I don't know why she hasn't wanted to use her litter box. It did move from one corner of the room slightly over some. I don't think that would confuse her enough to make her think that her litter box isn't there because she's used it, but I think she might be like unhappy about something, so she's peeing where she's not supposed to. She's just grumpy. She is a grumpy old lady. And honestly, I respect it. My favorite character from Kingdom Hearts, a creature that is basically a dream catcher. Interesting. I have not played Kingdom Hearts in a very, very, very long time. Like, I played it on the PlayStation 2 after my brother got a PC, and then he was forced, since he had this new PC, to let me play the PlayStation 2. And then I played through Kingdom Hearts and the second one as well. Eventually, very soon, I will just lore dump. Oh. Jesus Christ, really? Another one? The Saribot is on it. I don't even think Saribot lets it show up in chat, like, at all. It is like an immediate response. Good bot. Honestly, I would be down for listening to Mal talk about their special interest of Kingdom Hearts. I know that it's like on Steam and it's on like a really good deal, but I have no extra cash. All of the cash that I currently have is going towards buying a new PC. If I would be able to play Kingdom Hearts, I would today, but I can't play it on stream. Yeah, no, that's fair. Honestly, I would be fine with just you setting up a PowerPoint presentation and then like talking about the different slides. You're like, all right, and in the beginning, there was a man named Walt Disney, and we're like, wait, hang on. I feel like that's a little bit early. As soon as I got the money to be able to spend on games, all the games in my wish list went on sale. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Yen Sid, which is Disney backwards. Okay. Fair. I yearn to play Supermarket Sim, but unfortunately it's unavailable on my crusty MacBook. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Supermarket Sim is actually pretty fun. It's like, did you ever play Gas Station Simulator? It's basically like that, except it's just like the store part. It is so much fun. Except for the fact that it takes absolutely like no brain power, and I played it for like 15 hours, 10, 15 hours, and then stopped playing it. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, everything's fine. I might sneeze again. I don't know why my allergies are acting up right now, but GG's. I might have to mute to sneeze. And if I sneeze before I can mute, blame the fact that my stream deck isn't working. But hello. I did just sneeze like 4 times. Gonna make a PowerPoint presentation about 17 and go on a 3-hour rant on them and attempt to assign everyone biases, which would not be hard considering I already did that for the fruits. Motivate me to talk about my special interests. This is dangerous. It's not dangerous. I think that everybody should be free to talk about their special interests. Like, look at me talking about the fucking inventory system of Baldur's Gate 3. I literally went on like a 10-minute rant one time about just the inventory system. Because it's weird, but I understand it. MacBook hanging out by a thread. Soon I will get a gaming laptop if I make it up from my summer job. Let's fucking go. I can't say that I've ever had to deal with the limitations of having a MacBook specifically, because I know that some games don't always work with MacBooks and stuff, or it like takes a while to get updates out for Mac. I will probably do my own well, not probably, it's literally in here. Dragon Age series playthrough, but my character and love interest are chosen by the fruits. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that. And I'm going to explain all of the like the characters and the love interests and basically like give a general explanation. Hi Jay, I love you. I hope you're doing well. Give a general explanation of like characters and motivations and stuff so that they can decide the character and love interest via a PowerPoint presentation. I did not put that on there because that one ended up being very long on the list, but I'm probably going to invite the fruits onto my stream at some point so that we can all sit down and I can like make a PowerPoint presentation and go through it with them, get their thoughts about what kind of character I should be playing and who I'm romancing. So that's gonna be fun. You're good, I'm glad. I am also good. I'm a little bit stuffy because my allergies just decided to try to murder me, but we vibe. Hopefully nobody comes in and asks if I'm vaping. And that's why ask if that's why I sound so nasally. Like, no, I just have really bad allergies. So sorry. So sorry about me. Not only did I assign members, I also gave songs and going 17 episodes that I think the fruits would like. I am so very normal about 17. I believe you. 100%. Woke up nasally too. Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's just allergies coming back around. I was the allergies cryptid for a while there at the beginning of the year. I was cursing everyone with my allergy problems. You said my name 3 times in a mirror, I would appear behind them and sneeze and then go, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Do you have a tissue? Overwatch and Supermarket Sim aren't available on Macs, and I think anything from Epic Games isn't available. Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of rough. We were having like a discussion the other day about Apple versus like Windows, Android. And I just prefer Android and Windows. It's like so much more like it makes more sense to me, which I said is more like it's what you grew up with, it's what you understand. But like I feel like it's a lot more open. Like Windows is a lot more like easily accessible sometimes, because like Mac sometimes wants to protect everything. Oh, to pause, yeah. I didn't make the overlay last night. This is technically just the pause from me putting them on the screen. Also, Sophie, did I ask you what color paw you want for your donation that you gave me through coffee? Because I have like black, white, tan, and the calico one, which seems to be very popular. I meant to, and then I still need to ask Steve. I literally messaged him last night to make sure that I thanked him again, and then I forgot to ask him what color paw he wants. You want the black one? Okay. I'm just gonna add these to my scene for now, and then tonight I have the idea of making like a transparent kind of like overlay so that I can turn it off and on quickly without it being on the screen all the time. Because having like chat down here and Cat Kiss and Lime Cat Run and the paws up in the corner might be, and my PNG next to the chat might also be like a lot to be on the screen at once. So I'm thinking about having it so that I can turn it off and on, make a little collage of like paws that people pick, and then like show that as a like a progress kind of like signifier. The black one is very cute though. And again, Sophie, thank you for the donation and everything. I know I messaged you personally, but I feel like I can't say thank you enough. You made me have motivation and excited for Kingdom Hearts things. You are at fault. You aren't. I am, actually. I said I'm going to cause so much chaos. I'm going to make everybody talk about their special interests. And then I'm going to be happy because I love listening to people talk about their special interests. Will I retain any of the information? No, probably not. But I will listen, and I will go, wow, that's so cool. Someone, thank you for support through Ko-fi. I can't see. Hang on, coffee, Ko-fi. I started that as a joke, and now I can't say it right. I did. Whoever that was, Peony, thank you so much for that. I should probably put like a little signifier in there that says that Ko-fi or PayPal, I guess, is like stinky sometimes. Love for the kitten. Nico is not currently in here, so I will give that love to her later if that's okay with you. If you trust me with your channel points, I will do that later. But yeah, thank you, Peony. I really appreciate it. I did up it by $100 last night because we reached the goal last night. And hi, Kat, I love you. I hope you're doing well. I trust you with my life. I appreciate that. And I would never. I didn't know that like doing it through Ko-fi would like share information through PayPal and stuff. But just know that I would never do anything. This is a business kind of transaction, and I would not do anything with any information given through PayPal. I thought that doing it through Ko-fi would like make it safer for both of our information, but I know that I am just random person on the internet, but I promise. Get a good amount for your new PC that way. I really do appreciate all of the support. I said it earlier, but I kind of like got done streaming last night. I like raided into Cat and was hanging out with Cat for a little bit. I got up to go get my my dinner which was made like while I was in the middle of streaming, and it was burnt and I cried. It was mainly a happy cry because just like all of the support and love that happened last night. Thank you, Sari, for posting that. I keep forgetting to put it in my title. I probably should just put it in there. Put dono and incentives in there with all of my exclamation mark command things. It was mainly a happy cry because it's just like all of the love and everything last night. But I was like, just kind of emotional last night because it was very, very sweet. Everybody helping. Also, P&E, what color paw do you want? We have the black one and the white one and the calico one and the tan one. Yeah, that is the problem, is that we've been on, like, if you're online or like open about being online for like any amount of time, there's probably a way to like find you with the black one. Okay. There's probably a way to find like a lot of information out there. Like, I was watching a video one time that was all about like someone who like looked for information online about people for fun or for a job or something, and like with someone's like old TikTok account, they ended up like being able to find out who they were by like cross-examining the name through different platforms and like figuring things out and connecting things. And it was just like, nobody is safe. We all leave a little footprint in the internet. Don't mind you knowing my entire names. I don't have any secrets. Yes, I appreciate everybody trusting me. I will not do. I may not steal your identities. I may not even remember what your name even says. I'm very good about doing that sometimes, where I'm like, this is information that I don't need. I'm going to forget it. Just like, toss it out. Just gonna just put that away. It was a little bit scary because it was like, so they used their TikTok name and then found them on Twitch and then found like their Twitter and like I don't remember exactly how it went, but they like ended up finding like everything about them, and I was like, what the fuck? You can do that? Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. I don't know. I just shortened my name because people have a hard time pronouncing it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It really is not fun when that kind of thing happens. And it's always like, I always try, if someone like explain, I might have to ask like how a name is said, and then I will like try so hard to remember how to pronounce it, because like everybody deserves to have their name pronounced correctly, even if it's like a little bit difficult for you and like your native language to say it. I thought somebody was home. Sorry. Like, you can learn how to say other people's names, other famous people's names who might not be from where you are or from where you come from, but you can still learn how to say their names. It's respect. Hydrate. It's probably a good call. My water was behind me. Thank you for reminding me to take a drink of water, because I would have forgotten. Sense that you needed it. Yep. Could tell by the fact that I was yelling about something. That's just me. I just yell about things. I remember I hated how peony sounded when I was younger, and so I made a different pronunciation, but now all of my onlines pronounce it as peony, and it was so jarring at first. I'm so sorry. How did you pronounce it? Hang on, this is very important. What will my IRL say? Peony? Peony? Peony. Like Oni? Like the big guy from Dead by Daylight? Interesting. Would you prefer me to say it like that? I find it so amusing that most people in my own country do not know how to pronounce my or say my dead name. Like, it's so stupid. Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't really care, honestly. Up to you. Okay, I will probably continue saying peony. However, if you wanted me to say it the other way, I would try. It's very hard to do it that way. I think it's funny sometimes when people like call me Limes and then they might call me Miles accidentally, and they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. And it's like, I'm fine with either one. Like, if you are more comfortable calling me Limes, then that's fine. However, people also call me Miles. And it's, yes, it is just the M and the L switched. Thank you for lurking, Mile. Please do all of the things. Get all of the things done. Thank you for being here. And Mike. Not Mike. Oh, no, it's okay. I'm fine with either one of them. I'm truly okay with either one of them. Like the fruits, like Sari, Kier, Anna, they all call me Miles. But like my friend Cam always calls me Limes. Rev always calls me Limes. And I think it's very funny the point at which Steve started switched from Limes to Miles. Cause like in the clip that I have in my raid video, he called me Limes. And like not that long after that, he switched. And I think it's very funny. It feels weird to call you Limes. Yeah. Like some of my friends that always call me Miles calls me Limes, and I'm like, what? Ew, that's weird. I feel like we've just gone back in time. Called you Limes just Mike and Miles. Yeah, my name is Mike, apparently. It is always kind of like interesting. Feeling like you don't know someone well enough to use like their proper name.
Miles, I fucking love you too.
Oh my god. I still think it's funny. Like I noticed like the change, but I don't know why exactly it changed. Like maybe that's just like autism, noticing things that are different. But I like noticed when he started calling me Miles, and I was like, cool. No, that's cool. I didn't know that command existed. Yeah, I have a lot of commands for like various mods and VIP in the chat. They usually have like a text command that pops up, and if they stream, it links to their stream. And I have been slowly going through and adding sound alerts to go with them as well. Like,
I love you, you little slut.
hi Tay, I love you. I hope you're doing well. I usually will try to go through and find like an interesting little little line that somebody says, and so when you randomly call me Roy, like primarily you Sari, yeah, that's fair. Sometimes I forget to like switch back and forth, and so I will like go to call you Sari again. I'm like, oh no wait, Sari sometimes uses Rory. Maybe I should use that again. When you like first were talking about Rory, we like used it more often, I feel like, and then we kind of like stopped. Sorry. Boop, Nico is not currently in the room. Do you trust me with your 50 channel points to boop her at a later time? It is kind of why it's 50 points. Because I used to have a cat cam, and sometimes I would give her a boop and she would, it would be like slightly off camera. And so that's why it's 50 channel points. Because I would be like, well, I booped her, but you might not have seen it. But yeah, a lot of cool people have, didn't I just say trust you with my life? Okay, yeah, that's fair. Just, you know, channel points are such a serious thing. You know, I wanted to make sure. You good? I'm glad. Just got back a bit ago from Costco. Let's go. What'd you get from Costco? Did you get like a lot of bulk items? I haven't shopped at Costco in a long time. I'll bite you. Okay. I deserve it. Yeah, it is a bit interesting sometimes when you like, you know someone's like actual name, but you've only known them as like their username. And so then you like don't know if you know them well enough to use their name. I felt that way about Kiki or Saurusness for like a while. I was like, I don't know if I know you well enough to call you by the name that I hear other people call you. Got some good things. Let's go. Nice. Thank you so much, Nightbot. But yeah, I really do not mind either way if somebody calls me Miles or if somebody calls me Lines. I do, however, think it's really funny when people suddenly realize that it's Limes or Miles because the L and the M are switched. And they're like, wait. Is that why your name is Limes? And I'm like, yeah. Genuinely one of my favorite interactions. My username used to actually be It's Miles, bro. And then I was like, well, maybe I want to like cool it. Cause you know, coming out and all of that is a bit complicated. I was like, maybe I should just cool it just a little bit. And then I streamed for like a while and I was like, nah, I can't shut the fuck up. I cannot shut up about being trans and queer. I can't not say it. There are too many good jokes. I think like a few people still remember me from that time. Like I would always hang out with Duck Braden, and I think Chelsea knew me as well as it's Milesboro. I have been on Twitch for a while. Not even as long as other people have. Some people have been on Twitch for like a very, very long time. It's just been a couple of years for me, but it still feels like a long time. Who's It's Miles, bro? Yeah, good question. Some nerd. I've told this story before, but I was like trying to think of like a username to switch my name to before I started streaming, just in case, like, you know, I didn't want people to actually know my chosen name. And I was actually in the middle of making some guacamole, and I was putting lime juice in it. And I was like, wait a second. What if I did limes? Because it's the L and the M swapped. So it's still similar. And I'm gonna keep the it's and the bro. This is something that I should investigate. And then the name was available. And I was like, cool. I also thought about Espresso Bro for a while, like espresso, but I don't really like coffee that much, so I felt like that was a bit of a lie. However, Barista Lad and Espresso Bro would have been cool super like hero names and sidekick name. It's oranges, bro. No. However, Clementine is a good name. It's mandarins, bro. How are you doing, Lurk? By the way, I don't know if I got to ask you that earlier because there was some things going on. But how are you doing? Have you gotten your computer situated and all of that? It's apples, bro. It's literally just like, hang on, do we even have? I'm just gonna go through all of the like the cat run ones and see. Just change my name to all of them. I have not, but I'm going to try and stream tonight regardless if I get this report done. Let's fucking go. Speaking of commands, hang on.
I am the best at this game.
Everybody follow Lurk. I love Lurk very much. You gonna be playing like DBD or you gonna be playing something else? Oh, whoa. It's blueberries, bro. Oh, hi, that's my voice. Yeah, that's how I feel about when you do the I don't know fear. Somebody does the I don't know fear command. And I'm like, oh my god, where did my voice come from? Jesus Christ. It's a good clip. It's a good. I don't know what possessed me to say that, aside from the fact that I was definitely terrified, but having a great time. It's grapes, bro. It's peaches, bro. I feel like it's peaches, bro. Would probably make people think that I was being sus. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through and make all of the names of like the Apple Cat Run kind of guys into my names. We always think you're being sus. No! I'm so not sus. Hi, dog. I love you. I hope you're doing well. Hang on. Let's see. Is this button broken? It is. Why is everything broken? Bro. I have to type it in like a normal person that doesn't own a Stream Deck. Sounds like something someone being sus would say. No! No, literally it's broken, bro. It's just my PC recently. I like literally just fixed my Stream Deck yesterday. I had to like uninstall and reinstall the plugin that I used to like change my scenes and stuff. It's just like an OBS plugin. I like uninstalled and reinstalled it and set up all of my scenes again. And now it's broketed. I don't know why. Because I broke it, yeah. So now I'm just looking at Cat Kiss. Probably just turn it off then. It's not going to work. It's very confusing. I'll have to figure out why it's not like remembering or not continuing to work with it. Because I just used it last night. And it worked just fine. But for some reason today it's not. It's so weird. I have never been sus in my life. Don't go watch that clip where I met Axel in Coral Island. Don't go watch it. That proves nothing. I have never been sus. I was gonna go find it really quickly. We have a new furry family member. I'm so happy. Let's fucking go. Hang on, I'm gonna go find the clip because it proves nothing. Definitely never been sus ever in my life. I promise. What kind of furry family member do you have? Is it a new cat? Is it a new puppy? Or is it something more interesting? I always assume that it's a cat or a dog, but you could like get a weasel or something. She's a Persian cat, the grumpy looking ones. She lives with my sister 7 hours away, but I love her dearly. Let's fucking go. We love cats. I love that you qualified it as the grumpy looking ones. They do look kind of grumpy. They look like they got their little face squished. They do look grumpy or rather sad. Yeah. They're kind of like pugs, I guess. They're the cat version of pugs with their little squished face. I guess pugs more look like old men, I've noticed. Persian cats do kind of as well, now that I think about it. They just kind of look like old men. Like old grumpy men. Luckily you weren't drinking the moment Axel showed up. Yeah. No. I had to take a drink afterwards. And you know what's really funny is that when I said that I was taking a drink of water, I was not even like trying to make a joke about being thirsty. I was just trying to do something. Because, you know, you guys can't see me because I'm not a face cam streamer. So sometimes I will like say something more than like something that gives the kind of the illusion that if you saw me, I would be reacting in a different way. Maybe it's just like me thinking too hard about it, but yeah, if I had been drinking while Axel showed up, I might have spit out my water. Which probably would have been bad considering I have a lot of technology on my desk. Yeah, I wasn't even trying to make a joke about being thirsty, and then Rev clipped it and was like, well, I'm suddenly very thirsty, and I was like, oh. I was like, oh well, you know, they're right. Can't argue with it at all. Yeah, I think we're gonna play Little Kitty Big City today. That is what is on my schedule. I don't know like how much of the game is left. I think I've done like a lot of it. It's just me and you breaking. Yep. Terry is just like, what was it that you even said? I don't even remember. You said like, it's just like breathe. Oh my god. Tits, your tits are out, tits. That's right. That's what you said. Oh my god. That was so fucking funny. I'm so glad that I put chat on screen in time for that. Because that's gonna be very, very important for the future. Because like it still has like chat replay in the clip because the VOD is still up, but when the day comes when the VOD falls off, I'm glad I put chat on screen. That is honestly one of the reasons why I wanted to put chat on screen, is that if I like have clips and stuff, oh my god, I want it to be like, I want people that watch the clip to understand the vibe of the chat as well. Sent you some pictures of her. She looks annoyed as fuck, but seems to be rather cuddly, and I cannot wait to meet her. Oh, that's so cute. Mal is also sending me pictures of them putting together a PowerPoint presentation. Aww. I have to switch scenes like a normal person. Like aw, that's so cute. Baby. It's a cat kiss in the background, but they do look like a little a little confused. If they're too cute, the PC breaks. Oh my god, you're right. Oh my god, hang on, we gotta go back. Close one. Very cute pictures though. Thank you. Gotta be careful with pet pictures that are just too cute. Never know when my PC is gonna blue screen because it can't handle it. Exposing me. Okay, I see. Yes. I'm sorry, but it is in the fine print. If you send me a DM in the middle of stream, there is a 98% chance I will tell everyone about it. Even if you post something in a server that I keep a regular watch on, like if I have like notifications on for them, I probably will tell everybody about it. That's just part of the fine print of DMing me, unless it's something actually personal, and then I'm gonna just like not say anything about it. But I'll know, and you'll know that I'm restraining myself from saying something about it out loud, because I have no self-control. If I just DM'd you meow right now, what then? I would probably say meow back. There we go. BRB, no problems. Get whatever you gotta do done. I got rejected by my husband. Oh no. Oh, are you guys playing DVD? Okay, that makes more sense. Watch, one day I'm gonna DM you meow while you're streaming with no warning, and I'm gonna say, Ian, you just sent me a meow. This is very, very important information. Thank you so much. Valuable, beautiful, breathtaking. Thank you for sharing. There's a lot of power held in that meow. Someday I'm just gonna send you a gif of Hoshi with no context. Honestly, I would probably be like, Sari, what the fuck is this? Thank you, but what the fuck is this? Honestly, the gif that you sent the other night, when you were supposed to be going to bed, and it's just the guy with like a eye mask on, and then like the blanket like appears and the pillow. I was just like, that's art right there. Send you a Phoebe Bridgers gif, and I with so much love, Peony, I will go, who is this? Who is that? Because I don't know what Phoebe Bridgers looks like. I don't know what a lot of people look like. I'm gonna be real honest with you. Like, I don't know most famous people. I don't know most musicians. Especially like, usually it's a lot more of like internet famous people that somebody will be like, oh yeah, look at this person. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Who is that? And they're like, it's this person that plays this game on this platform. And I'm like, they're like, oh, they do like makeup tutorial videos. And I'm like, I don't watch makeup tutorial videos. Why would I know who that person is? Out of times I have almost played a Hoshi soundbite with the soundboard when in Call with the Fruits because I have it favorited. Yesterday I almost disconnected from the call. I joined the call, went to open the soundboard to like do the meow like sound that we have, and I almost hit the disconnect button. I have done that so much. Why is the soundboard and the disconnect button so close? world may never know. It's like when you're like playing Dead by Daylight and there's a locker and like a pallet or a vault too close to each other, and so you hit space just a little bit too early. Then you vault into the locker and then you die. Someday you're just gonna hear Hoshi saying Orang hey? I don't know how to say that. Extremely auto-tuned, and I will die inside. And I will be like, what the fuck? Rory, what the fuck was that? Probably gonna run into ads pretty soon. Oh, yep, it just started playing the starting song again. Play something else. Yeah, we're probably gonna run into ads in a minute or so, and then I'm gonna swap the game over. I might try playing Little Kitty Big City on keyboard and mouse, because the game says that it's best to play it on like a controller, but both like Sari and Anna said that it was easier on keyboard and mouse. I think it was Sari and Anna, I don't know. Yep, there's the ads. Okay, hello. Ads should be done. And then down just a little bit. Let's see. Hello. I've been here this whole time. You guys didn't even know. Oh, the game isn't even on this scene. That's awkward. I need to fix that. There we go. I'm gonna have my binder on for way too long today because my family wants to go out to dinner at the Italian restaurant nearby. Honestly, that was me like last Monday because I I wore my binder for way too long. Like mine is pretty loose anyway, so I feel like I get away with it a little bit more sometimes. But I wore it from like when I streamed earlier in the day. Like I put it on like 11:30 a.m. and wore it until like past midnight. It was not good. Not smart. Always wear your binder safely. However, I was busy all day. And I have since then not worn it all week. So I had to kind of balance that. Okay. There we go. I wear mine regularly. Like I wear mine a lot because it just makes me feel better. Um I need to add game audio. I keep forgetting that I didn't put this on this OBS. There we go. I think I need to fix something. Suppose I can't. Okay. Yes, this one is the one that we want. Only wear it once a week, sometimes twice. I never leave the house, so I just put on my pajamas when I get up in the morning. Yeah, no, that's fair. Aw. Eepy. Okay. We're gonna try the keyboard and mouse. Ow. I forgot that I ran into that. What have we done and what haven't we done? Oh, that's my smack button. Gonna slap some people. Hi, Steffi, I love you. I hope you're doing well. So I really only have this quest left. However, there are a lot of like achievements that I haven't gotten yet. So we're gonna do a little bit of achievement hunting, I think. Oh. Oh, okay. Catsy. I've only had 2 photos. Oh, and there's a bunch of question marks as well. Uh-oh. Okay, so what we can do is try to break more objects and recycle more items. I didn't realize how far in this I'd already gotten. I kind of forgot. Oh, no. Wait. Yeah, there we go. No! There are a lot of like other achievements that I need to work on. Some of them I don't even know what they are. We are gonna be so sneaky. So very sneaky. How you doing today, Steffi? That was not the one that I was trying to get, but I got one. That might be a little bit loud. Yay, feathers. And try this again. Accurate cat portrayal. Yeah. Ooh, I got some shinies for that as well. Nice. We have 8 achievements left, but they're all the long ones. Yeah. I did all of the soccer. Like the goals and stuff. I got that achievement. Just need to break more stuff. Recycle more stuff. There you go. And get more hats. Stop looking at your phone. Hello.
Huh?
Aw, cute. Hey, give me your can. No, wait, give me your can. Hey! Don't you just ignore me? Yeah, give me that. Oh. Give me that. One here, let's go. Hello. Yeah! I think I got that one in the first game that we were playing, so I didn't get the actual achievement. Oh, I scared the bird. Oh, there's another bone. Is there just an extra bone, or is there another dog? Hey, give me your sandwich. Hey, back here. Could be so sneaky, so sneaky. I forgot to take out the trash. Oh, that was weird. In the morning, and now it is 94 degrees. Oh no. Ah. Let's get him. I'm so sorry, Steffi. Hang on, we gotta. Oop. I gotta use the controls again. What? Where's all of my stuff? Yeah, where's Rory? What the hell? I bet it was the produce lady. She manages to find me everywhere. She's found my stash. that's just fucking rude. Meow. Literally stole my stash. What the hell? Yeah, give me those. Go bonk. Nope. Oh, hello.
Hey.
You have a can. Give me your can. Hey, give me your can. Hey.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Okay. Bonk. Yeah. Loving the idea that we're just pulling cans straight out of the vending machine that are still full of like drink and just throwing them in the trash. This place is treacherous. There's too many puddles. Yeah. That up? Okay, so I've got all of the hats from this. Oh, touched the water. So sorry. Okay, so we've got all the hats from here. Aw, man. Can we rummage in the trash again? No. Aw, man. Yeah, I bet it was the produce lady. The one that just magically knew where I was all the time. Oh. Oh, hi. I just knocked her briefcase out of her hand and she was like, "Oh, that's okay. You're so cute." That was funny. How do I get it to open? Oh, there it goes. Oh, why did you have an empty can in your briefcase? Fucking weirdo. Okay. And is that a clove of garlic? This woman is afraid of vampires? Why did I decide to come to this one? This one is treacherous and scary. Okay. We had one person with a business can and one person with a clove of garlic in their briefcase. Yeah, it's a can. Hang on. Wait, no. Ow. Just went in a circle. Wait, no, come back. Hey! I'm being looped.
Huh?
I'll take that. Okay, back to the clove of garlic. We gotta put this in our hiding space. Since we gotta restart our stash. Jesus Christ. Important business can, apparently. Hey, give me your can. Hey! I'm not very good at this. Hang on. Okay. I guess he's just gonna get away. He was too good. Okay, how we doing? Oh, that's the meow button. Gotcha. Oh, I'm only halfway there. Whoops. Okay. Gotta make sure I'm ready to go have fun being a cat. I will have fun eating food. Ow. Just running into every vending machine like, hey, give me items. Oh wait, here's one I haven't bought the ones from. I'm gonna buy a hat. It'll cost you 10 shinies. Yes, please. Here you go. Shark hat. Kitty shark do. Okay. Gonna get copyright striked. Panda hat. I should get up to some mischief while wearing this. It'll be pandemonium. Oh, rabbit hat. What big ears I'll have, all the better to hear stuff with. And one more, which I feel like Kier should probably see. I think Kier is busy. The axolotl hat. I'm an axolotl kitty in a very big city. Well, that's all the hats from there. How do I get to the hats again? Axolotl hat. Feel like Kiersey needs to see this. The bunny hat. Oh. That's not you, bro. I was just standing here. Panda hat. Shark hat. I think we wear the axolotl hat for a while. He's angry. Hey, give me your can.
Huh?
I'll take that. I love stealing their, like, soda can, because, like, who in their right mind is gonna trip and then pick back up their soda and continue drinking it? Like, it's mine now. Okay, let's... Oh. That was weird. Let's see how many of these vending machines have cans in them that I can recycle. Alright, let's see. Hey, get it! Aw, man. Oh. You're kind of in my way. Oh my god. Just running into everything. Yeah.
What?
Oh, hello.
Ah.
Rev! Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you so much, Rev. What color paw do you want? I didn't put it on this scene. But I've been adding like paws for donations. If you have a moment, I know you might be busy, but if you have a moment, do you want like the black one or the white one or the tan one or the calico one? I'm gonna make an overlay, but right now it's only on this one. I'm gonna make like a PNG kind of like overlay that I can turn on and off. And so I've been asking people what color paw they want. Whatever you think is best. I think I'm gonna give you one of the white ones because people love the calico ones, and a little bit of the white paw will be cute. I'll just go ahead and add it right now. We're in the void, but it's fine. But I love you, Rev. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping out and the donation and everything. Oh, no, that's not where it is. Hang on. I need to find it. Where's the overlay things? Right. Give you a little white paw. It's very cute. And I'm gonna make it like an overlay of like a collage of like paws and ask like people what colors they want, and then like have it on like every scene so I can turn it on and off, and like so that because I do have like a lot of things on my screen. I have my like playlist that plays in the corner. I have cat kiss. I have lime cat run. I have chat. I have me. It's all just like a lot on the screen. So instead of having like them on the screen the whole time, I'm just gonna like turn it on and off. I think I like that idea. General self-care check. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. I need to take a drink of water anyway. Again, Rev, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Rooting for you so many, and I mean it. I appreciate that. Everybody make sure that you are drinking some water and having some food. And if you haven't done either of those things in a while, please do it. Please take a drink of water, get a snack, do something. Take any meds that you have coming up or that you might have missed. Water in your body. Yes, exactly. Take any meds that are coming up or that you might have missed. Put on chapstick, lotion, put on your blue light glasses or protective glasses if you're Rev Spicy. Stop shrimping. Stop sitting on your foot. I am sitting on my foot. I need to fix that. Hang on. I'm no longer sitting on my foot. Stop shrimping. Stop sitting on your foot. Stop sitting so low in your chair. I have a bad habit of doing that as well, where I'm like, my chair like loses pressure, and then the next thing I know, I'm sitting on the floor. And that's probably not good for my shoulders and back, but whatever. What else do I normally say? Give your pets a pat and be kind to yourself. I was gonna mix electrolytes into some water. Don't forget, you need electrolytes for you in the epic heat. Yeah, that's fair. I don't normally do that, but I probably should. Also, Kier. Did you see the axolotl hat? I gotta know. Just saw a video of a real nice winter snowy night, and I got an immediate joy out of seeing it. So safe to say that I fucking love winter anyway. Back to lurking. Thank you for being here. I figured that you're busy, you're doing all your work things, but axolotl hat, beautiful. I adore the axolotl hat. Okay. And what about this one? Oh, that one's empty. Well, what about this one? That one's empty. Okay. Good. Well, what about this one? Yeah! I have a lot of things to recycle before I get the achievement, which is probably not good. Hey! Hey! Why can I not trip her? There we go. This is my can now. Let's go. Yeah, I don't normally put electrolytes in my water, but I can see that it is a very important thing to do. Always make sure to do all the things to take care of your body. Yeah. I should probably also see how many hats I'm still missing. May look into adding them to stuff that might be wise. Yes. Especially with like the heat that's been going on recently, just like everywhere. It is just fucking hot everywhere. Just bonking into every single vending machine. What is brain damage? I've never heard of it. Let's go. What about this one? I already checked these, didn't I? Yes, I did. Hey, give me. Yeah. Don't mind me. I'm just, you know, saving the world one can knocked out of someone's hand at a time. Oh, I miss being petted. My bad. Hey, give me your briefcase.
Huh?
Yeah, another can. That. That's what you get for looking at your phone. Oh, they're so angry. They're so mad. Ow. Yeah, let me pull this out of the way. Okay. I did find out earlier that my stash has vanished. This is very upsetting. I don't know where it went. It must have just glitched out of existence. I'll take that. Stolen. I think it was the grocery store lady who just magically knew where I was all the time. I blame her. I have no proof. They stole Sari. The little unicorn plush. Stole him. Right out of my little hiding spot. Like that. Antidepressants make you more likely to become dehydrated in the heat. Oh, lovely. Everybody make sure doubly to ow. Drink your water. Sad. Hey, give me your can. Hey, give me your can. I'm not good at timing this. There we go. Thank you. I'll take that. Oh. bird got scared by the person. Keep forgetting what button it is to swipe, but it's fine. Hey, give me a briefcase. Thank you. Oh. Oh, it's a ping pong paddle. Okay. I'll take that. Oh. I am so sneaky. I'm not very sneaky. Why did she just have a ping pong paddle in her? Briefcase? Like, that's my question. Like, what are these things that these people have in their briefcase? Like a crumpled up soda can, a clove of garlic, a ping pong paddle. You think she's like the manager of like a ping pong sports team or something, and she always has like her lucky paddle? So now I'm just making up stories for all of the people. Hey, give me your can. Oh my god. I hope you guys enjoy my mayhem simulator. Hey, give me your can. Hey. Hey, give me your can. I can't see. Hey! I'm being looped.
Hey?
I'll take that. Thank you. Oh, he has a briefcase. I gotta go see what he's got in his briefcase. Sir, what do you have in your briefcase? Is it as weird as everything else we've seen? Okay. Oh, you've just got some cash. Okay. That's not as weird. However, I am a cat and I don't need cash exactly. Oh, I made him drop his sandwich. Just gonna... Oh, I lost the clove of garlic already. Oh, man. My stuff is just disappearing. Everybody's so mad. Because I keep tripping everyone. He's got a sandwich. He's got nothing. Where are all the people? It's empty. Sad. I think I just spunked into that one. He's got a phone. Hey, wait up! What do you got? Hang on. I'm gonna take that. He's probably got a phone. No, he's got a can.
Huh?
Thank you. I'll take that. He's got a phone. Do you have anything? No? You don't have anything? Oh. Aw, but you got a can. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Hey, come here.
Oh.
I'll take that. Thank you. Ow. Oh, I just bonked my head on the recycler. Ow. I've got to stop running as fast as I can all the time. Anybody got anything that I can have? I think he has a phone. Ah. I don't have anything. Oh, fuck. It's just me running around constantly trying to find people with cans or briefcases. She's got a phone. I don't need a phone. He's got a phone. Oh, that's a lot. Oh my god. Oh, see that? Hello.
Hi-oh. Ah.
Love you. Grab that. And this. Okay. I've got to stop running around if I'm trying to get the birds as well. However, gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta be speedy. He has a phone. He has a phone. Hope I tripped him anyway. You have nothing. Okay. Oh, she's got a can. Oh! Yeah, that's what you get. No, that's what you get for trying to scare me. Fuck you. Tried to scare me, but ended up tripping. That's just good old-fashioned karma. Just tripping everyone. Okay, can I have that? Yeah. Need to put that in there. Hey, briefcase. Hey, give me your briefcase.
Oh.
What's in it? Give me. Open. A controller? That's like an Xbox controller, too. Ow. Vibio game. Oh my god, the Vibio games exist in the Vibio game. Man. Is everything a Vibio game? You got a sandwich, you got a donut. What about this one? Sad. I think this one was the one that gave me like 5. Yeah. Just running into every vending machine I can find. Hey, briefcase. Give me that. Yay. Can. Okay. Just pissing everyone off. It's so funny. Oh, ow. This game truly is a treasure. Oh yeah, I still don't know how to get up there. Yeah. Oh. How do I get up there? It must be from the other side, because I don't think I can make that jump. Yeah, there's no way. Oh. Leaving scratch marks on somebody's car. Hey, you got a can? Should give that to me.
Huh?
Thank you. Oh, well. That one was an accident, however, still funny. Nope. Oh, wait. Deposit. There we go. Give me that. Alright, hey, briefcase lady. Give me. Oh. That is a pair of scissors. Don't run with scissors, guys. It's not safe. Got a phone. And you got a phone. Yeah, let me go over to the other side of this and see if I can see the way to get up there. Can I get through here? Oh, that's closed off. Did it reset just like everything that I did? Because like things are like routes are blocked off again. Like that you like move stuff out of the way for? I don't know how I'm supposed to get up there. Because there's a jar of shinies up there. Can I climb on that thing? I'm pretty sure this is the building that you climb to get, like, to the end of the game. Hello. You startled me. However, we have one of the rubber duckies. We have found Duck Dan. I don't know how you're supposed to get up there. Unless you're just supposed to get up high and then jump. Which is always a possibility. Like, can you climb up there? Is there anywhere that you can climb up? I don't know how to get to that jar. However, I do see another can that I should steal. Excuse me. Thank you. I'll take that. Oh, I see another can. I see another can. I'll take that. Thank you. It is very funny playing Dead by Daylight for such a long time and then doing things in other games that you would do in Dead by Daylight. Like when you're running a lot of times. Oh, hello. Can I have your can? Like, a lot of times while people are running, they'll, like, shift back and forth between A and D and, like, kind of, like, wiggle back and forth. I picked that up from playing DVD, and now I do it in a lot of other games. I forgot that there's a recycler over here. Or, like, trying to moonwalk in other games. Like, why do I do these things? I don't know. I just saw other people doing them and I thought it was cool. I'll take that. Oh, did I forget to pick up one of the shinies that I got? Must have. Hey, briefcase lady, gimme. Oh. Oh. The briefcase just ceased to exist? Uh-oh. It self-destructed. Literally. It left her hand and then just poofed out of existence. I had too many personal documents in there. Oh, hey, there's the duck that I picked up. I mean, like, this one half glitched into the ground, so that's probably what happened. Probably just glitched. Hi, Bliss! I love you. I hope you're doing well. This is a very, very cute game. I have been avoiding finishing it because I don't want it to end. But I'm probably going to finish it either today or tomorrow. Ah, I see another can. I see another can. I'll take that. Thank you. How many hours of gameplay? Not very much, to be honest. I'm trying to, like, do some extra achievements. Going back home is probably, like, the last thing that I have to do. I've completed all of the other quests that I've come across. However, there's some, like, oh, I'm at 90 of 100. There are a couple of, like, little achievements that you can do. You, like, catch and release birds, break objects, pick up and recycle objects and, like, cans and stuff like that, which is why I'm running around tripping people and stealing their stuff. We just had a briefcase just disappear into nothingness. It was kind of interesting. It's kind of a short game, but it's also like an indie game. Just tripping everyone. Anybody got any cans? I am extending the gameplay of this game by just not finishing it. I, however, 100% recommend this game to anyone that wants to be a little kitty in a big city. You can even sit in little boxes. Like, look at that. Who doesn't need this in their life? Have you played Stray? I have. This game is very Stray mixed with Untitled Goose Game. Where you're like a little cat, you're going on adventures, you're in a city, but it's very like it is a beautiful day in the village and you are a terrible goose. Where you just can like trip people, you can catch birds. I did help a little family of ducklings, however, so that was my good deed. Hi, Kitten Mama! I love you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm fundraising for a new PC. And I feel a little bit bad asking for donations and stuff, but everybody has been so kind so far. I've got some really good progress in it and everything, but I do have some fun incentives that I'm planning on doing. Like I'm gonna probably play Five Nights at Freddy's at some point, which is gonna be scary. I have to replay Detroit Become Human. Ugh. Kitten Mama, thank you so much for donating. I appreciate that. I have a question. Okay, we're gonna go into the void for a moment. 111. What? Ah, thank you so much. That I just upped that from last night. Thank you so much. Rev, I haven't been able to see like how much you guys have donated, but I do have like we're gonna go into the void for a second, but it'll be fine. I've been adding little pause onto the screen. I'm gonna make like a little collage and like maybe not have it on the screen all the time, but like kind of like turn it off and on as it goes. So would you like the calico one, the black one, white one, tan one for your donation? Oh, whoa. Calico. Everybody loves the calico one. It's very, very cute. I did this for my subathon last year, and I just like for each like amount that was gifted, I would put a different color on, but this time I decided to give everybody the choice of which ones they wanted. I'm gonna put this like together on a transparent like PNG kind of thing, and then I'm gonna just have it so on like my other scenes so I can turn it off and on, and it'll be fun. But I really appreciate that, Kitten Mama. Thank you so much. I feel awkward when people give me money, but I am kind of in need. I kind of need that. Where that picture, I forgot what it was for. The pause. Oh. I also have to catch birds. I keep forgetting that I have to do that. The pixel one, my PNG. I'm sorry. I when people give me money, I get really distracted. I'm sorry. Oh. I'm gonna steal his phone. Ah, my phone now. Me.
Oh.
Ah, no! Ah, no! It's my phone! Ah, man! Oh, yes, the cat boy picture. Yes, that is my my profile picture now. I went ahead and did it. Open! Let me in. Let me in. I put it on Discord as well. Put it on Discord and Twitch. Let me in. It's not opening. Oh my god. What was even in that? What? Okay, so the briefcases may be a little bit glitchy. Oh, hello. Cowboy Island is a lifestyle. It honestly is. Hey, I know you just like petted me, but give me your can. Thank you. No one is safe. Not even the people that want to pet me. Oh, she's got a can. She's got a can. I'm going in. Gimme. We're getting, oh God, we're getting close. Getting close to the 100 recycled items. Bless you. That was me earlier. Hey! What an interesting can you have there. I'll take that. Thank you. Little kitten saving for a new computer. Yeah, this is literally me. Oi! Oh, ads. I don't have my stream deck. I have to click the scene myself. And I have to click mute. Okay, hello. Ads should be done. I know they can lag behind just like 10 seconds or so, but they should be done. Um, yes, we are gaming. I personally absolutely love finding like any emote that portrays any amount of feeling that is just a cat. Like a while ago, I decided I wanted to get rid of all the Pepe emotes because they can make people uncomfortable. And I really don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable in my stream. So I got rid of all of the Pepe emotes and just started replacing all of them with various cat emotes. Like the nodders and the nopers. And the hydrate and the... Oh, give me your can. Hey, give me.
Huh?
I'll take that, thank you. Another can. Oh man. Gonna have to find him, hang on. Wait, maybe we follow him? Wait, no. Wait, no. Nah! He's gonna walk in the puddle. Oh, God. Why did the camera turn like that? Hello? Deposit this one real quick.
Oh.
Oh. That's on you, bro. I wasn't even trying to trip you. But yeah, I really do appreciate all of the support that
Huh?
has been coming my way. And oh, I ran past that one. How close are we? 5 away. Okay, we're 5 away. We got this. And like, I also have to thank Kier, because Kier was the one that like said it. I was thinking it and thinking about how I feel awkward asking for money for stuff. And anytime people are like very generous, I feel like they should keep their money and buy something that makes them happy. Another can. Gimme. Hey. I said, gimme.
Hmm?
Yeah, there we go. Another can. Gimme.
Hey?
Hey. That was a lot that just happened there. And Kier like mentioned doing like a subathon, and I was like, oh man, she's right. But also I know that like sub prices are gonna go up soon, and they have already gone up in some places. So I was like, do I want to actually make it like a subathon where Twitch gets a portion, and like I already have so many emote slots, which is normally what you like root for when it comes to a subathon. My chair is slowly sinking, hang on. Okay. But yeah, then Kier like mentioned it, and I was like, ah man. Riddy! Hi, Riddy! I love you. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you. 173% of goal. What the fuck? Hi, Riddy. Now I have to ask you the same question. I should probably put it on this scene, but it's already gone so far. So we're going to go into the void for a moment, but which color paw would you like? I'm making like a little collage of paws to thank people for, or, like, to show progress of the donations and stuff. So would you like one of the white ones, or the black ones, or the tan ones, or the calico one? Black paw? Good choice. Good choice. I should probably keep the folder open that has them in there, but I keep closing it. Good choice. Deanna! I hope everybody's awake from that alert. Everybody says that that startles them. Deanna! Thank you so much for gifting 5 subs. I appreciate that. How are you? Smolasaur, DJ Tatsujin. I don't know who that is. Syrup, Tay, and Crazy Cat. You got some good people. You got some good people in that list right there. Deanna, thank you so much for gifting 5 subs. That's kind of like what I was talking about, was that I kind of want to do it through Coffee, but also through Twitch, through bits and subs and stuff, because all of it is going towards me saving up for a new computer. You're doing well. I'm glad. Okay, well, since I'm already on this scene, we're in the void already. What color paw would you like? I have the white and the tan and the calico and the black. I'm gonna make like a little collage of all the different people that have helped me along this goal. And I'm gonna assign them paws, and I'm gonna let them choose. Which one would you like for your gifted subs, which I really appreciate. I still need to ask Steve. Steve like came in and was like resubbed and then disappeared into the void last night. And like I was just like, oh, hello. Oh, hey, there's Steve. Hey, Steve. Hey, Steve, what color paw do you want? I like literally messaged you last night and like wanted to make sure that I thanked you again. But what color paw do you want? I have black and calico and white and tan. Oh, whoa. I'm gonna make a little collage. There, I can hear the cat purring in the cat game. But you guys can't. It's just quiet for you guys. We did. We said Steve 3 times in the mirror, and then he appeared. So many good choices there are. No pressure or anything. Honestly, if you wanted multiple colors, I would put it on for you, because I just appreciate you guys. Make him a green paw. I'd have to. I could. I'd have to like mark that down. I'd have to remind myself to do it. I could technically make a green paw. Yeah, let me do this real quick. You guys can hear it. You take any? Okay, I'm gonna give you a tan paw. But take any. Well, at least it didn't say take any but, so we give you a tan paw, because there've been a lot of different ones, and like black ones and calico ones. I think the tan one is very cute. I hope that's okay with you. Okay, I'm gonna leave the folder open that was on there, just so that it's there. Anyway, I'm gonna eventually like make a little collage of those so that I can turn them on and off on like different scenes. But I I didn't do it last night, and I'm going to continue like working on it as time goes on. But I hope you're doing well today, Steve. And thank you guys for just the support and everything. I've been saying this off and on, but I know that it is incorrect, and I need to work on it, but I don't always feel like I do enough to give me.
Huh?
I don't feel like I do enough, and you guys are all so amazing and everything. And so I I appreciate the support. I'm telling me. No, don't tell Steffi. Ah. Hello.
Hey.
Anybody got any more cans? That is such a cute emote. Thank you so much for... That is so cute. Thank you for using some bits to do that. I appreciate that. Also, Bliss, do you want I'm sorry, Anna's gonna have to see that emote because Anna's gonna appreciate that one. I also meant to ask you, do you want to pick a paw color to put on the screen? Because you did technically pay before I even started the incentives. Before I even started the incentives for the Catboy Allen profile picture. Choose what speaks to you. We might do another calico. Everybody seems to love the calico. So I think we're gonna do the calico real quick. I have so many things on my feed right now. Let's do the calico. Calico is very... Oh, God. Somebody just sneezed on me. That was rude. Mom butt. You have some really cute emotes. I do have a mom butt. Oh my god. I am sorry if I have forgotten to ask people about what paw colors they want. I do have a tendency to get a little bit overwhelmed with everything that's going on. Oh god. I ran into the water. The wooder. I need just a few more cans. Just for Steve. Ooh, that one's really cute as well. Hey, you got a can in that briefcase? It's an empty can. What you got? What do you got? What do you got? Oh! Oh, it's a... Why the fuck do you have a whole cucumber in your briefcase? Give Nancy and bits for a good cause. I appreciate that, Bliss. I really do. Why the fuck would you have a cucumber? Just a whole ass cucumber in your brief. Oi! Whole ass cucumber. Oi! Stop sneezing on me. It's rude. You got any briefcase? Oh, okay. I might have to give up on this lady. She just keeps sneezing. Okay, never mind. What's that? Another ping pong paddle. Stop sneezing on me. Another can. I'll take that. It landed on my back. Okay.
Oh.
Let's go! We got the achievement. 100 cans recycled. I am missing quite a bit of hats, though. Just a couple of birds' nests. I gotta break more objects. 5 more birds, and then we'll get that achievement. And then there's a lot of ones that I don't know, which I'm confused about. Honestly, the Gigantify emotes things is like really good for getting to really see an emote, because sometimes they're just so tiny. It's kind of hard to see them. I should stop running. I should probably slow down to be able to get some of the birds. We're so sneaky. We're so sneaky. So sneaky. No, you don't see anything. You do not. No! I know a lot of folks are upset that, yeah, that part I'm not a fan of. When they first mentioned it, I thought it was going to be more like the celebrations that happen when you use Twitch alerts, like, you know, the confetti, or like the fireworks, or like the emotes that like fall when people give subs, when people raid in, you know, you can turn it on and off. The fact that it's not part of Twitch like alerts, and it's just automatically signed up for everybody, is a little bit weird. I do feel like people could use it to like post emotes that might make people uncomfortable, that might be a bit not great. So I do feel like you should be able to opt out of it if you, especially like in the climate the way it currently is on. Like with the bots and stuff, you know, like it is bits. So you're getting money from it, but if somebody's being a dick with emotes, I don't care if they want to give me money about it. That should not be allowed. I did see someone post like a smiley face with some feet in someone else's chat with the Gigantify emotes, and it was not fun to look at. It was a little bit cursed. Like they were a friend of the person streaming. So I guess it was fine with them, but it was a little bit odd. Oh, they have like a ring on their head. I didn't even notice that. That's cute. But I can definitely see people doing that and trying to get away with like posting weird emotes by being like, well, I'm giving you money kind of thing. But yeah, I could do without the feet ones. Yeah, I was surprised that it was something that you couldn't opt fuck out of. I'm not very good at sneaking. Ow. I've never really been a very sneaky gamer. Usually I just run in guns blazing. But I need to... That's on you. I wasn't even trying to scare or like trip you. I probably should trip some people that have like sandwiches and bagels and stuff, so that I can get the birds to come consistently. Oh, that bird is just in the water. I wonder what happens if I try to catch that one. Aw, man. These birds are too... They know too much. They're too aware. Do you mind? I'm trying to catch a bird. You're blowing my cover. Oh my. This is your fault. That was on you. Okay. I think the person is going to scare the bird. No? Yes. Okay. Oh, I caught him. Nice. Let's go. Oh. Well, I tripped someone with a sandwich, so hopefully there'll be more birds. Tanuki, I need you to not screw this up for me. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can get another one. Not that one. Okay. Oh, I only need one more. Tanuki, I need you to not mess this up for me. One more. One more. Yeah, let's go. I got the achievement for it. Okay. So I still don't know how to get up to that one section that has the like the jar of shinies. I think it's over this way. Like up there. Like there's one up there. I don't know how to get there. General self-care check and a hydrate. Wow. Okay. Everybody make sure that you are also drinking some water. Every hydrate redeem for me is also a hydrate redeem for you guys. Get some water, get some food. Yeah. Sit up straight, stop shrimping, stretch. I did get up during the last ad break and I stretched my little leggies and I got some water. But we stretch. We stretch. We stretch out our hands that have been playing the cat game for a while. And put on some chapstick, put on some lotion. Do not drink antifree. Sit up straight. Stop shrimping. Stop sitting on your foot, Steve. No antifree. Hi, Syrup. I love you. Hope you're doing well. Steve sits on the foot. I also sit on my foot. Every time someone does a like posture check for Steve and then he's like, hey, I was sitting on my foot, you caught me, I'm like, oh fuck, I was sitting on my foot too. Every goddamn time. I can never be free. But yeah, Syrup, enjoy the cat meme emotes on the one dog one and Shirtless Vito. Everybody loves Shirtless Vito. Hi Smolosaur, I love you, hope you're doing well. Yeah, Deanna was kind enough earlier to gift a couple of subs and got some really cool people in there. I don't know how I get up there. Don't know how. I'm supposed to... Let me climb. enough stamina for this? Oh, okay. Ah! Okay. I'm pretty sure this is how you get up to the end of the game. And I'm not sure I want to end the game yet. I do have this scheduled for tomorrow as well. However, I should probably just see how it ends and we can figure out something else to play tomorrow. Just 100% it easy. Well, that's the thing, is that I've done like a lot of them. I've done like a lot of them, but I'm missing some hats, some birds' nests, some breakable objects, and then so many other achievements that I apparently have not even found. And I don't know. I don't know what all of these are. I was thinking about just doing like an achievement hunting section of this game. I don't think I can like jump over there. I was wondering if you can like climb across that, but I don't think you can get up there either. I just do not know how you're supposed to climb up there. I used to, like a while ago, like a long time ago, I used to do achievement hunting Sundays. It was back when I used to stream like later in the evening on Sunday. Yeah. Okay. I did used to do that for a while. And then I realized that playing the same game over and over was probably a little bit not that interesting. It doesn't even have the question mark achievement yet. Yeah, I know. I'm a fake gamer. Also, thank you for the giant veto chest and also the giant cat with sunglasses, because like honestly, the coolest cat. Man Meat Monday was yesterday. Today is leftovers. Did I celebrate my Monday wrong? Oh my god. How am I supposed to get up there? Unless I can get up there and then like drop down, but I don't think I can. How do I get up there? I'm scratching the person's car again. My bad. So sorry. Ow. Ow. Yep. Hydrate. Again, I don't think I finished this general self-care check. Because I think I got distracted by talking about how when Steve gets a posture check, I am also always sitting on my foot. How do I get up there? Oh. Water is very good. Everybody make sure that you are also drinking some water. I did take a drink. Oh. Did take a sip. Can I like walk on that? I can. Of course I can. I'm a cat. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, well. How get up there? Can't jump that high. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, well, I'm scratching the car again. How? I don't know. Maybe I'll just... Hey! Get off here. Get out of here. Maybe I'll just break some stuff to make me feel better. I have both my little footies tucked in, but I am only at my desk for a moment before getting up again. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like you're allowed to like do that if you don't sit very much. I think really when you sit like a while and you are also sitting on your foot, that is kind of bad, but just sitting down really quickly to do some stuff and then getting back up. I feel like that's understandable. It's passable even. Unless, okay, let's go over to the park and see if there's like a way up onto the fence. Since I can apparently climb the fence. Was that bird poop? Yes. You live in basically constant danger of being pooped on by a bird. I have yet to actually get pooped on by a bird. So I don't know if it can actually happen. But you do almost get pooped on. A lot. Push tech. Steals your little footies. Well, what is she gonna stand on then? Got no feet, Yeah, I can't get back there. Can I like... Oh god. Can I like... I can't see. Okay. Okay. Progress. Progress. Let's fucking go. Yeah. Get out of here. It didn't break. Ah. Now I have to figure out how to break it. There we go. The fact that it fell from that height and didn't break. I think it fell onto the car, which I think if whatever you're like throwing gets stuck on something instead of like the ground, it will not break, which is kind of weird. Because you'd think from that height you could just like practically anything would break, right? But no, apparently not. Okay. So I hate to say this, but I think I'm gonna try climbing the building. We might finish the game today, and I'll have to decide what I want to play tomorrow. I kind of forgot how much game I had left. I have done basically everything. What do you do in this game? Basically, you run around as a little kitty, and you cause chaos, and you steal people's phones. And You try to get back home. Like, the whole beginning of the game is that you fell, you as the black cat, you fell off of the, like, your top of the building apartment windowsill, and like now you're like trying to get back up to where the apartment is, which I believe is this building that I'm climbing right now. I did hear that Cam or Barista Lad accidentally sped run the end of the game because he was just having fun. He was just having fun climbing. Oh, there's more stuff up here. Oh. Uh-oh. Nothing to see here. Are you sure? Because it looks like you were trying to steal people's shinies. Toxic. There's even more stuff up here. I thought you just like would start climbing and then you like get to the end of the game. Oh, was that a key? Hey, it's somebody's slipper. Hang on, this is very important. Can I just, I'm just gonna... Just gonna put that out the window there. Okay. First time I started up this game, I may have gotten one of the sandals stuck to me. Oh. Hello. And then every water pipe in the city starts erupting and the timeline is all out of order. So it's happening right now, but yesterday. I think I managed to stick the pipes back together, but the bubblegum won't hold forever. And the whole city is currently covered in water. And hello. Oh, it's you, kitty. I'm sorry, did I startle you? Only a little. I don't usually see anyone up here. It's just Geku and me. Oh wow, is that the real Geku? I don't know. Oh, that guy. Okay. I don't know. Not yet is probably the best I can say. Tanuki, why are you standing so close to me? Jesus Christ. Tanuki, am I going to regret asking what you mean when you say not yet? It's a fairly simple exercise. Every day I come up here to eat my lunch and chat to Geku. If he replies, I'll know he's real. What if he doesn't? Well, I still need somewhere to eat my lunch and think about things. Why not a lovely sunny ledge? That makes sense. Your ledge is a lot like my window spot. Speaking of which... Oh yes, good luck with the climb. Thank you, and good luck with Geku. Thanks, I'll let you know if he ever talks back. You are standing uncomfortably close to me. Like... Man. I gotta knock this off. Okay, that just ceased to exist again. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't even know my own strength. I love that the jar earlier did not break, but me just bumping into that just made it shatter into a million pieces. Fuck those pots. Yeah, exactly. You get it, Syrup. But yeah, I 100% recommend this game to anyone. I will say that it's a fairly short game. Unless you're like me and you just refuse to end games sometimes. I also broke the game and had to restart. that bird just... Nice. I love breaking stuff. This feels like when I jump in Elden Ring and all the chairs spontaneously explode. Yeah. He's like, oh. Is that supposed to happen? Jar. Oh, I can pick up the wrench. Fuck your wrench. And your hammer. Can I pick that up? I can't. There we go. I'll take all of these. Thank you. Oh. They saw me. Hey, it's the ducks! What are you guys doing over there? I gotta go join in. Oh, I touched the water. I can't join in. I forgot I'm a cat. Get out of here. Can I talk to them? Yeah, there we go. Oh, 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 where's the text box? Oh, God. Hey, how did you get up here? Don't ask stuff like that. It's rude. I can't read the text. Oh, no. Somebody asks stuff like that all the time, I assume. Yeah, but Dad's a grown-up. Kitty, are you a grown-up? I don't feel like a grown-up. Ah! Ow! I don't feel like a grown-up. I think I'm in between, or my vet said I was, but I didn't feel any different. No, that one is also true. People are like, hey, you're an adult now. And it's like, I am? I don't know more than I did yesterday. What do you mean? Rip to anyone walking below. Yep. Kitty went from tripping people to just dropping dangerous equipment onto people's heads. I was convinced that there was something for pouncing on all the birds with sparkles. They dropped junk, so I spent like an hour chasing down sparkly birds. It's just a shinies. I feel like I'm 15 and 45 at the same time. Yeah. I don't feel like a grown-up. I mean, I love to play, and I'm definitely not finished learning things. I'm going to assume that says grown-ups can play and learn. They absolutely cannot. I'm going to assume that says can so. Mom plays with us all the time. And Dad is always learning things. Then what's a grown-up? If you're a grown-up, people have to listen if you tell them off. Kitty, try telling us off. Oh, okay. Ducklings, stop messing about and get out of that paddling pool right now. This conversation is too silly. I'm a grown-up cat and you must take me seriously. I assume that's what that's supposed to say. All grown-ups know is eat hot chip and lie. Honestly. Stop messing about and get out of that paddling pool right now. You didn't move. You're officially not a grown-up. Ooh, that's good to know. You want to swim with us? Swim? In the water? Yuck. I mean, no thank you. Besides, I need to be getting home. Okay, maybe some other time. I'm assuming that says bye, kitty. Kitty's leaving. Bye-bye, kitty. Bye-bye, ducklings. Have a nice swim. Aw. Sad that I glitched the dialogue, but cannot be surprised by that. That's where I came in. Up we go. Drop. Get out of here. Did that one not break? Oh, they're just appearing down there. What the hell? Oh, there's nothing. There's nothing over here. I assume I was supposed to go the other way. It is very interesting because it's like I did come to the realization as I got older that nobody actually knows what the fuck they're doing. Like anybody that like actually knows like what they're doing and what that didn't even break. What the hell? But that one did. I punched it and it exploded. Anybody that genuinely knows what they're doing and what's going on all the time through everything is an outlier. Oh, hello. The tea party. I assume that these might be some of the achievements that I'm missing. But I don't know what exactly they want me to do. Oh? No way! Troll! Hello! Welcome in! How we doing? Playing Dead by Daylight. I am not surprised. I totally am not a spy for Troll. No, no, no. You never do that. Hello, welcome in. Hi, Troll. How was your stream? Playing some DVD? Are you playing still the anniversary event section of the game? Give up the money. This is a raid. I'm sorry. I need the money. But I mean, sure, absolutely. Playing DVD terribly, of course. I do not believe that one bit. I do not believe that 1 second. I have seen you play. I have seen you get all of those flashbang saves, flashlight saves, locker saves, all of those. You are correct at Dead by Daylight. Hello, I am briefly here from the restaurant. Hi, Sari. I love you. I hope your evening is going well. Got a flashlight save and a power struggle. Let's fucking go. I'm glad that your stream was good. If you gotta go raid and run, go do your after stream self-care. I know you probably ended stream for a reason. You gotta go stretch your leggies, gotta go get some water, gotta go pee, gotta go do all of the things. I completely understand. Thank you so much for trusting me with your community. We are waiting for food. I ordered pizza. Good choice. Absolutely good choice. I made a sound alert today for Natsu and Mal, and they totally love them. Let's go. That's so cute. Troll was distracting me from my PowerPoint presentation. Gotta do it now. Go ahead. Go do it, Mal. You got this. If you got, like I said, if you gotta go do your after stream self-care, please do. If anybody here is not already following Troll, please do. A very, very cool person. Very cracked at Dead by Daylight. Like I said, gets all the flashbang saves and the flashlight saves, and is just like a very, very positive and just like happy person in the Dead by Daylight sphere, which sometimes can be a little bit difficult to find, but I 100% recommend his content. And I do have a little raid video if anybody is new here and would like to know the general vibe of the stream. I will say that it is a lot of different games. It's like a lot of different kinds of games. I'm a variety streamer. It's a lot of swearing, and it is a lot of not knowing what the fuck is going on. And then plays raid video. Yes, I love raid videos, and I love mine as well. Anyway, enjoy.
Come over here.
Okay. Pussy. Whoa, fuck. Would you like a cat? I have some. They're right over there. Cat. You stole my cat. We look ridiculous. It would be kind of funny. Let them eat poop. Really? Really, Sophie? Ah! Oh my god, my cat's sneezing.
Lives.
Plenty of time, gamers, and I'm right by a door. They're probably gonna bring me in a little more. Yeah, good call. Oh, Limes, you heckin' legend! Oh my goodness, Limes. Limes! My goodness, Limes!
Fuck. Anyway, hello. Welcome in. That is the general
Miles,
vibe
I fucking love you too.
of the stream. There is also the command for Steve. Which I will never let him live down. I don't think any of us are ever going to let him live that down. But yes, welcome in. Today I'm playing Little Kitty Big City. I am getting near the end of the game, so if anybody wants to avoid spoilers or anything, they want to play Little Kitty Big City, I am closing in on the ending, just as a warning. I do say all the no words. Hi Zubabel, I love you. I hope you're doing well. I swear like a sailor, but not like Steve Sailor, you know, more like I'm stuck. Okay, just hang on. Let's try that again. I got a little bit stuck. I'm stuck again. What the hell? Me up. Okay. I didn't hear what he said. Yeah, I can find you the clip. I have it bookmarked. Hang on. I have it. We're hoping to make this one of his most seen clips ever. I have it bookmarked so that I can find it quickly. Oh my god, it's very good. In his defense, I had been on a vacation for the past week or so, and I was on my way back, and he did a really bad no offense, Steve, a really bad Donald Duck impression. And me, who had just been out with, like, without internet connection for a while, saw his goofiness and was just like, wow, I miss this fucking goob. And so I said, Steve, I fucking love you. And he said it back to me, and I will never let him live it down. And then I will say that I felt a little bit bad because, like, he said it and then he was like, and then there was just silence for like a good couple of seconds, and I was just crying laughing. He's just like, no. Oh my god. I'm redecorating. Oh my god. Yeah, he had said a couple of times that he had like just been thinking about how he was proud of himself for not swearing on stream, and like he'd gone like so long without like slipping up or anything. Like not like the day before that happened. Ah, ads. Ah, hang on. Let me get down here. Ad break. I always pause for ads. Play some music. There we go. Okay. Ads should be done. I know that they can lag behind like a couple of seconds sometimes, but they should be done. At least that's what I've noticed over time of like when I see someone has like the ad like alert for like mods, it pops up in the chat. And sometimes it like lags behind like 10 seconds, which is kind of weird. But hello, welcome back. Thank you if you did just sit through ads. I know that they are annoying, but I always pause so that nobody ever misses anything. Oh, there's a jar of Chinese in there. There's so much extra up here. I really thought that like I was gonna like go straight into the ending, but just grab these over here. Thank you. All right. Hello. Hello again. Lovely to see you up here. So grateful for your assistance earlier too. Definitely the hero of the hour. Is that loud? Hang on. Turn that down. Hi, Jay. I am still on. I usually go for about 3 hours. Sometimes I'll go a little bit longer, just because I'm having fun. Lovely to see you up here. So grateful for your assistance earlier too. Definitely the hero of the hour. I'm just glad I could help. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes? I don't suppose you've seen my children more recently, have you? You lost your kids again, bro? Come on. I do gotta head out, my friend. Gotta make phone calls and such. Yes, Troll, please go do all the things that you gotta do. Again, thank you for trusting me with your community. And if anybody here is not already following Troll, please do. Very, very cool person. Like I said, cracked at DVD and just very positive and welcoming, and has really cool shirts as well. Yes, please go do all of the things that you gotta do. I completely understand. Okay. Definitely not a major concern. You understand. I certainly wouldn't lose the ducklings twice in one day. Haha, not again anyway. Don't worry, they're safe and sound. They found a swimming pool on one of the balconies. Oh, thank goodness. I'll go and join them soon. Perfect weather for a little swim. So relaxing. Would you like to join us? Absolutely and categorically not. Water is the least relaxing thing in the entire universe. But thank you for asking. That reaction is very funny. You are welcome. Safe travels, kitty. Okay, on to the next thing. Yep. Okay. We're doing well with our parkouring so far. There's a shiny on that roof over there. Didn't even notice that. Hello. Oh. Oh my god, he's actually invisible this time. Hello. What? I bet you didn't see me this time. I didn't actually. Wow, I really didn't. Amazing. Honestly, being invisible is so much fun. I'm still not sure what you thought being invisible meant before now. Anyway, now that my invisibility is perfected, I've started trying to work on this fear of heights thing. So I see. How are you feeling? Well, I'm very glad to see you. And the breathing exercises are really helping. I want to be that kitty. Yeah, me too. That said, I think I overshot my relocation spell because I was a bit nervous. So now that I stopped to look, I mean, we're very high up, kitty. Would you like me to reassure you while you relocate somewhere lower down? Oh, thank goodness, yes. Chameleon, you've got this. Just do your breathing and focus on your relocation. I've done it hundreds of times, and this is no— oh, you've done it hundreds of times, and this is no different. Got it. You're the best, kitty. Bye. Aww. If you missed it, like his whole— that Chameleon's whole story was that he was trying to be the most invisible possible, and we kept seeing him anyway, and so he was like transporting to new locations and like trying to wait, we got it, we're home. Oh, what's your name, little kitty? You can name the kitty? Oh no. What do we name the kitty? I wasn't prepared for this. I wasn't prepared for this. What's the kitty's name? This is too much pressure. We're home and we got our lemon. No. How dare you? Clementine, however, is a really cute name. We shall name the kitten Clementine. Personalized collar. It says Clementine. That's me. Aww. Oh, hey. Hey, don't get too close to that edge there. You made it. I did. And look, my human gave me a present. What does it say? It says my name. Wait, you had a name this whole time? I like it. Mine's Crowford Crowthorpe the Third. Oh, should I call you that instead of Crow? No, in fact, I insist that you don't. So, is this goodbye? What? Of course not. You can come down and visit us all whenever you like. In fact, let's go now. There's loads left for you to do. Shinies to be found. Excellent crow friends to give them to. Hehe. In fact, I'll mark things on your map right now so you don't forget about them. I'll check them out in a moment, Crow, but first, I'd like to enjoy my favorite nap spot in the whole wide city. Understood. See you soon, Crow. Definitely. And don't forget about the shinies. I did it! That's so good! Thanks for playing. What did you name your kitty? I named him Clementine. Cause Steffi suggested lemon, and I was like, how fucking dare you? But Clementine is a cute name. Oh, the jazzy. Hang on, I don't have my button. There it is. Steph is just a little be nice. No, don't tell Steffi. No. I like the jazzy music, I will say. So does that mean that like you can just, it's kind of like more sandboxy, so that you can just like go back down and explore within the same save? Because like I've been seeing stuff about how you can explore the apartment and how there are like a bunch of references to other indie games, cozy indie games that they like put in. I think we gotta go do that. However, playtesters Rich Lord Jasper would, Vincent would, and Emmeline would. Wholesome games. Keep playing. Yes. Hang on. Let's turn the goddamn off. We have to play a little bit longer, at least, to look around the apartment. Oh, cute. Pick up. We just got all of the little buddies. I gotta put them all on the floor. They all gotta be together. Yeah. There we go. Gotta put it on the floor where it belongs. Get there. Oh, oh, I knocked over Geku. Get on the floor. Oh, I can't pick him up though. Cute. Wait, hang on. Oh, I knocked that off. It's fine. Yeah. Can you go higher? Can you go further up on the building? Yeah. Oh no, you can't. It's just pretty. Okay. Oh no, wait, you can? Oh. Game was like, I think you're done, actually. This is so cute. Yeah. I'm gonna climb up there. I'm gonna get on the bookshelf. Oh, I can't. Did I get up on the cat tower at least? Oh, yes. Hang on, how do I... Nope. How do I do emotes? Where's the emote button? Nope, that's the map. Obviously, that was... I don't know where the emote button is. Uh-oh. Oh, my blush is in the wrong place still. In my defense, I've been moving things around a lot. Hey, hang on. Okay, hang on. Just put that there. Sure. Sorry. I've been like dealing with so much shit with like having to reload everything that sometimes I forget to fix things. I don't know what the button is. Oh, okay. Oh. Well, you know, it's very cat-like for the cat to just say fuck physics. Hang on. Let's see if we can get that better. Cats Do not. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Just try one more time. One more time. Let's turn around. Oh, nope. Nope. Again, defying gravity. Hang on. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Give me 1 second. We gotta work this out. That's that far enough away. There we go. There we go. My paw is in my head. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I'm glad that it made you laugh. Oh. Keep pressing all of the wrong buttons. Oh, we are defying gravity again. Okay. So do we just... To go back to the rest of the thing? Do we just
Say thank
jump?
you.
Salads!
Close enough.
We just go do we just leap off? Thank you so much for gifting a sub, Jay. I appreciate it. Max loves geese is a good name. Should we test it? Should we just jump? Where did we land? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so that means that we can just continue running around doing all of the things. I might 100% this game off stream and we'll pick something else that we want to play tomorrow. Because I don't know, I kind of just want to play this game by myself and like maybe just like see what that wait, hang on, let's see what if we found out what the other ones are. No, there are a bunch of the ones that I don't know what they are. Oh, I'm sorry. I just sometimes I am too away from finding all of the hats. So maybe we'll do a little bit of achievement hunting on stream. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I struggle a little bit to make things interesting when I'm just like running around trying to figure things out sometimes, and that is like me being critical of what I'm doing, obviously. And like other people probably don't feel that way, and I try to make it interesting anyway, but it's just a little bit more difficult to do that when you don't know what exactly is going on. Oh no, I was shocked by the jump. Oh yeah, there's no fall damage. So you can just like leap off of anything and be completely fine. Oh my god. How dare you sneeze on me? Jesus. I want to jump on the car. Okay. However, that has been about 3.5 hours. We've completed the game. Let's go. We only have 2 more hats to find, but we also have like a lot of quests that we haven't, or like achievements that we haven't even like figured out yet. Maybe I'll do a little bit of research, figure out what some of these are, and then maybe I'll decide if I feel like I want to stream it or just do it in my own time. And maybe we'll play more Little Kitty Big City tomorrow, like I already have scheduled, or maybe we'll do something else. I don't know. I haven't entirely decided, but I think that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm gonna play some music. That's a good song. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me, and also just like thank you for all of the support and everything that you guys have shown me. Like I said in my tweet yesterday, I'm just always blown away by the amazing community. And I appreciate you guys helping me perhaps get a new PC soon. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Let me see who's on. Let me see who we can go to. Talon is playing Overwatch. I think we might go to Talon. Their title says Overwatch art fight prep and commission work. So that sounds like a good time. They are 2 hours in, but I don't know how long they stream normally. I think they might be on for a little bit though. So we're gonna go hang out with Talon. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Let me put that in. Because I feel like I'm going to struggle typing their name. So I'm just gonna start typing that now. Okay, there we go. Did I spell that correctly? Invalid username. I did spell it incorrectly. I think I I forgot the A. Okay. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. There we go. There we go. Okay, listen. I said I was going to struggle to type their username, and I was right. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. My raid message button is not going to work. So I'm going to say Limes raid with the pride, or a Limes raid with any pride emote that you want to use, the gay pride, transgender pride, bisexual pride, whichever one you want to use, or anybody else's pride emotes would also work. I really don't mind. Or if you wanted to keep lurking, then that is cool as well. Like I said, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Join the Discord for more information about when I'm going live and what I'm doing. I need to copy my own raid message. I will forget. Join the Discord. It's kind of a quiet place, but it's the best place to figure out when I'm going live, what I'm doing. If I change anything, change schedules. My tech has been fighting me recently, so if I cancel stream, that's the best place to find out about it. Again, Troll, I know that you've gone on and done your things, but thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Follow Talon if you are not already. Does a lot of art. Play some Overwatch, some Minecraft, some cool stuff. Very, very cool person. Please follow them. I love you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Okay, goodbye.